Okay, so I'm on this part because I recorded myself doing chapter 4 and guess what? The microphone was off. But I guess it's a good thing because I get to explain this better because I didn't really explain the important parts well enough. So let's begin. So bab 4 is about sistem persekutuan. It's cara sistem persekutuan iaitu cara pentadbiran di negara kita lah, basically. So it's basically going to talk about how our country is run. Okay, enough chit-chatting. I'm going to go through the important points. So the definition of persekutuan is penyatuan beberapa buah negeri dan membentuk sebuah negara bersekutu. So you combine a few states and you form an alliance, or not alliance, a coalition. Yeah, this you call it a coalition, like a group. Yeah. So how is the evolution? Like, apakah perkembangan sistem persekutuan di Malaysia? Where did it start from and how has it evolved until now? So first of all, it started with NNMB, Negeri-Negeri Melayu Bersekutu, which is made out of Pahang, Penang, Pahang, Perak, Selangor, and Negeri Sembilan. So these 4 states, they combine together. They are under one group called NNMB. Mereka semua digabungkan di bawah satu gabungan, iaitu persekutuan. Persekutuan. Jadi namanya ialah Negeri-Negeri Melayu Bersekutu. So they all have one leader, which is the Resident General. Perbezaan antara NNMB dengan NNTB dengan NNS ialah NNS, setiap pulau ada satu setiap kawasan ada satu resident. NNMTB pun sama. Tapi kalau NNMB, dia semua 4 negeri satu resident general. So yeah, that's the main difference. NNMB is one leader for all 4. After NNMB, we have MMP, Majlis Mesyuarat Persekutuan. So, why? Because we want to memperkemas tadbir urus persekutuan dan mengukuhkan kedudukan British di negeri Melayu. What that means is you want to rearrange the system, the government system, rearrange your the country system. Why? Because British wants to have a stronger hold of Tanah Melayu. Because last time this mesyuarat allows British to get more involved in politics in Tanah Melayu. So that's why British has kedudukan yang lebih kukuh lepas ni. Next is Malayan Union. I'm not going to talk about Malayan Union anymore. It's been a common topic for the past few years. Kamu semua tahu apa yang berlaku ketika Malayan Union. Lepas tu, Persekutuan Tanah Melayu sama juga. Saya akan berbahas lebih tentang ni. Persekutuan Tanah Melayu 1957. Okay. There's one thing that you have to know. For 1948, it is the first time we have kerajaan pusat dan kerajaan negeri. Negeri bermulanya perasingan kuasa kepada kerajaan persekutuan dan kerajaan negeri. Manakala pada tahun 1957, ia adalah kali pertama jawatan yang di Pertuan Agong diwujudkan. So, Agong is 1957, but the kerajaan is in 1948. And then 6 years later, Sabah and Sarawak and Singapore joined. So, that is Persekutuan Malaysia 1963. Next is kuasa kerajaan persekutuan. I skipped one page. Okay. Pembahagian kuasa. So, in English, I'll explain. It will be, you have to divide the power between kerajaan persekutuan and kerajaan negeri. Right. However, there is a fine line on how much you want to divide. What I mean is, apabila kamu ingin membahagikan kuasa antara kerajaan persekutuan dan kerajaan negeri, kuasa yang diberi haruslah dipertimbangkan. Kerana jika kuasa yang diberikan kepada kerajaan negeri terlebih, ia akan menyebabkan ketidakstabilan dalam pentadbiran negara. Okay, if you don't understand what I'm saying, if your state is stronger than your country, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It just ruins the whole system. So that's why you have to be careful with separating the powers. So that's why it says in the third paragraph, peruntukan kuasa lebih besar diberikan pada peringkat persekutuan untuk mewujudkan kerajaan persekutuan yang kuat bagi menjamin kestabilan dan kemajuan negara. The kerajaan persekutuan is stronger because it is the one that's watching all of the states. And it is important because for a country to remain stable, it must have a government that can take care of everyone equally. So yeah, and another reason why you want to separate between, okay, then maybe some people will ask, kalau begitu, kenapa ada kerajaan negeri? Bolehkah sejak kalau buat kerajaan persekutuan? What if you only have kerajaan persekutuan? Why need kerajaan negeri if it's so annoying to like divide the powers? This because the kerajaan negeri is used to melicinkan pentadbiran, to we call it liquefy, to make the system more arranged, more sophisticated, more efficient. Because it's hard for one body to watch every single person in Malaysia. So you want to divide the states and have their own bodies so the states can watch over their people. So each state has their own group of people to watch. Okay, so first of all is kerajaan persekutuan. So kerajaan persekutuan, the rules for the rules that are for persekutuan punya level. No, the people who make the rules in persekutuan level is parliament. We all know that, and there are some powers. There are some things that the kerajaan persekutuan have power over. Terdapat beberapa bidang yang kerajaan persekutuan mempunyai kuasa dalam. Yeah, and semua itu semua kuasa tersebut tersenarai dalam senarai persekutuan. There is a list called senarai persekutuan. Senarai literally means list. So list. So federation list. Okay, this senarai persekutuan lists down all of the departments or all of the things that kerajaan persekutuan has responsibility over. Jadi menurut contoh-contoh ni, kita tahu bahawa kerajaan persekutuan bertanggungjawab dalam hal ehwal luar negeri, pertahanan, bla 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 bla. So, for example, I'm going to talk about pelajaran. You know how our state kan, in our country, we have UPSR, SPM, and PT3. But the thing is kan, every single state in Malaysia has the same exam. Like maybe like PT3, each state is different, but SPM or the types of exams in general, like not even one state can skip the exam. All of them have to take the same exam. That is the pelajaran aspect. We have the same syllabus. Kita mempunyai syllabus yang sama kerana syllabus itu ditentukan oleh kerajaan persekutuan from the Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. So that's that. Okay, yeah, there's something else that's important in this part. Next is kerajaan negeri. So kerajaan negeri also have their own list called senarai negeri, and senarai negeri mainly have five things that they have power over. Undang-undang Islam, tanah, pertanian dan perhutanan, kerajaan tempatan dan hari kelepasan negeri. I'm gonna give an example for hari kelepasan negeri. So kalau saya tak silap, terdapat beberapa negeri yang tidak menyambut Christmas. Wait, I'm not so sure about this one. Like if other countries got, but one thing that I know for sure. Do you know that in other states, like I think Terengganu, Kelantan, all the Muslim majority ones, they have Friday and Saturday as the off day. For us, it's Saturday and Sunday kan, except for Chongqing lah. But they have school on Sunday. We have school on Monday. That is decided by the kerajaan negeri. And maybe some of you might ask why. For us, we have Sunday punya Sunday off. Because we have a lot of Christians in our state, so the Christians can go to church and pray on Sunday, if I remember correctly. But for other states where they have Muslim majority, like majority, Friday is Sembahyang Jumaat, so Friday is the day off because they have to, so they don't have their work interrupted. But in Sabah, we just go home early lah for other schools, not in Chongqing. But don't worry, I go to Sembahyang Jumaat also. Okay. Untuk selain itu, terdapat juga senarai bersama. So senarai bersama merupakan senarai yang mengandungi perkara yang dikuasai ataupun dipertanggungjawab oleh kedua-duanya, iaitu kerajaan persekutuan dan kerajaan negeri. If you don't get what the hell I'm saying, senarai bersama is both. If senarai persekutuan is country, senarai negeri is state, then senarai bersama is both. So for example, kebajikan awam, beasiswa, and so on and so forth. So I think a good example that I can give will be beasiswa. Let's say beasiswa means scholarship. So let's say that Sabah offers a scholarship, but then but maybe like Yayasan Sabah Scholarship, for example. So yeah, but then Malaysia punya government can also offer scholarship. So both have control over it. And then next year, sekiranya ada perjanggahan bagi perkawal di bawah senarai bersama, undang-undang yang diluluskan oleh Parlimen harus dipatuhi. What this means is, if there is any clashing between negeri punya rules and persekutuan punya rules, we follow persekutuan punya. Because remember, persekutuan mempunyai kuasa yang lebih kuat, yang lebih kukuh. Sebab persekutuan ialah seluruh negara kan? So yeah. And then Sabah and Sarawak got a few extra peruntukan tambahan. So they got extra in senarai bersama and extra in senarai negeri. For senarai negeri, we have Mahkamah Anak Negeri, Undang-Undang Adat dan Adat Anak Negeri, and kereta api di Sabah. Why kereta api? Because Sabah punya train station, Sabah punya train road, it is used by the British last time. And it has a lot of history. But it is different from the LRT and the MRT that we have in KL. So Sabah has their own train station, like has their own stuff. Like the train station is different lah. So it's specifically for Sabah. And then next is senarai bersama. So for senarai bersama, they have family related law, undang-undang yang berkaitan dengan keluarga. And they also have penyelidikan pertanian dan perhutanan, pengawalan makhluk perosak dan penjagaan penyakit tumbuhan. They have a lot of plant related laws because their land is almost full of jungle. And pilihan raya bagi Dewan Negeri. So I think what this means is they can hold your own snap elections. They hold state elections. They have extra power over those. So yeah, that's the thing. Perbezaan antara Semenanjung dan Sabah dan Sarawak ialah Semenanjung punya ketua menteri ialah menteri besar, tapi di Sabah dan Sarawak ketua menteri. There's difference. Ketua menteri or chief minister has more power than I forgot what menteri besar is. It's not big minister lah. Menteri besar in English. Maybe just. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh, president? Okay, wait. Yeah, but basically in Sabah and Sarawak it is ketua menteri, but in the other Semenanjung, I mean in Semenanjung states it is menteri besar. So that's the difference. And one of the other differences with the Sabah and Sarawak punya system is this pilihan raya bagi Dewan Negeri. Okay, next is peranan kerajaan tempatan. So, if you want to think about an example for kerajaan tempatan, think of TBKK. And the reason why is because the main reason is merupakan perantara antara kerajaan negeri dengan rakyat. It is the bridge between the people and kerajaan negeri. Remember, I said earlier that kerajaan negeri is to make things easier for kerajaan persekutuan. And if the same applies to this, kerajaan tempatan makes things easier for kerajaan negeri. It's easier to talk to the people. Because I don't think kerajaan negeri will care about a damn building. Unless it's imago or something, it won't care about the building. So, kerajaan tempatan is in charge of that. So, for example, DBKK. But yeah, here are the functions. I circled them earlier because I was explaining earlier, but as I said, the recording failed. So we just memorized like 4 of them. Okay, next. Kerjasama kerajaan persekutuan dan kerajaan negeri. So, persekutuan dan negeri can work together on some stuff. Like, persekutuan can do this and negeri can do extra, or ketua or negeri can give something to kerajaan persekutuan for it to do something. So for example, there are a few types of kerjasama. One is kerjasama pembangunan sosioekonomi. So sosioekonomi is wait, let me just Google it. Yeah, social and economic factors. So again, I'm not that good at explaining what socio-economy is, but based on the what it writes here, it is more towards the welfare of the people, like for people's well-being and for the economy of the country. Because this stuff that they do is to develop the country's economy and to develop the country's social status. Like, for example, I'll get to that later lah. So, pembangunan tanah. Pembangunan tanah is concentrated on has two types: pembukaan tanah baharu and pembangunan in situ. So you have to memorize what in situ is, but the difference between these two is pembukaan tanah baharu is you give the land to the kerajaan persekutuan. Pembangunan in situ is you develop the resources needed there, like the house, the electricity, and so on. So kerajaan persekutuan made Felda, but the relationship between them and negeri is Felda gets Felda is created by kerajaan persekutuan, but they give money to kerajaan negeri to develop the land. And then because Felda was so good, they made Felkra. If Felda is opening land and using it for their own stuff, Felkra is trying to make the land usable. Because as we know, in some cases, the soil is unusable. Remember, what they do in Felda and Felkra is they try and memajukan industri pertanian. Contohnya kelapa sawit dengan getah. So this happened in Felda territories. So but not all soil can handle kelapa sawit, because some soil are pretty bad. So Felkra, their function is to make sure that the soil is usable. Now, pembangunan wilayah. So there are some wilayah dalam pedalaman yang tidak begitu maju. As I can say lah, they're not advanced enough because they were never meant to be advanced. Like most of the cities, they are near the ocean. But how about the inner parts? So there are a few groups: Kedah, Perda, Kejora, Kesedar, Ketengah, Dara, LKTS, Salkra, and SLDB. What they do is they try and membangunkan wilayah baharu. They try and develop the inner part of the areas, like the undeveloped areas, to be used for further stuff. Maybe they can make more farms. Maybe they can make forest reserves. Maybe they can make another city. Next is pembangunan koridor wilayah. So pembangunan koridor wilayah is a long-term solution that focuses on trying to develop a certain part of a state. Why? Because if they want to because right now we have a problem that is kebanyakan daripada penduduk negeri akan berhijrah atau berpindah ke bandar. This causes that bandar to be very pesat, very packed. So there's not enough space for everyone I'm saying. So what they do is they want to try and develop other lands so people will go there instead. So it's not as dense as it is right now. Okay, next is kerjasama pemeliharaan khazanah negara. So Malaysia is very known for its animals and plants. So they want to try and conserve it. So what they do is Taman Negara and Taman Laut. For Taman Negara, teacher only highlighted the akta as well as Perkhidmatan and Jabatan Hidupan Liar Sabah, Pembadanan Perhutanan and Jabatan Hidupan Liar Sabah. So you have to know that the hidupan liar is protected under the law, which is the two akta. Akta Pelindungan Hidupan Liar 1972 and Akta Pemeliharaan Hidupan Liar 2010. And then there are three main groups that handle this: Perkhidmatan Semenanjung, Pembadanan Perhutanan Sarawak, and Jabatan Hidupan Liar Sabah. How about Taman Laut? So Taman Laut, there are two segments. One is Taman Laut, one is Pulau. For Pulau, it is kerajaan negeri. For Taman Laut punya staff is kerajaan persekutuan. So Jabatan Taman Laut Malaysia pada tahun 2007 sebagai agensi kerajaan persekutuan bertanggungjawab secara keseluruhan dalam dasar pengurusan taman laut di Malaysia. But after that they changed from Jabatan Taman Laut to Jabatan Perikanan. But Sabah Sabah punya marine animals have their own group, which is Taman-Taman Sabah. So the example of Taman Laut that are under Taman-Taman Sabah is the ones here: Taman Tunku Abdul Rahman, Taman Pulau Tiga, Taman Pulau-Pulau Penyu, Taman Marin Tun Sakaran, Taman Pulau Sipadan, and Taman Tun Mustafa. So okay. Next, kerjasama penyediaan perumahan rakyat. So as I said earlier, terdapat ramai penduduk, ramai daripada kalangan rakyat yang berhijrah ke bandar. Tetapi pada masa itu terdapat tempat tinggal yang berkurangan, not enough space for people to live in. So what they do is, at the start of independence, they decided to make some cheap houses to live in. So yeah, that's number one. So both kerajaan persekutuan and kerajaan negeri are involved in this. Kerajaan persekutuan are the ones that built the houses. Kerajaan negeri give money to persekutuan for them to build the houses. Next is perumahan untuk mengatasi masalah kemiskinan. Because not only do people have issues with not enough space to live and not enough houses to live in, some people don't even have money to buy the houses. So they try and make it easier for this orang miskin to have a house. So kerajaan persekutuan did PPR, while kerajaan negeri did PKNS and PAKR. So PAKR. Another is perumahan mampu milik. I forgot what mampu. Actually, I forgot. I don't know what mampu milik is. Let me just Google this. Belay. Affordable. Oh, okay. Affordable housing. So these are more towards low cost. This one is more affordable. So kerajaan persekutuan dan kerajaan negeri menubuhkan pelbagai agensi. So they have Prima and Rumah Besar Rakyat. And for negeri, it's Rumah Selangorku and Rumah Mampu Milik Johor. But normally just go for Prima and Rumah Besar Rakyat. Next is kerjasama menjamin keselamatan dan kedaulatan negara. Because of course we have to also prioritize our defense. So for Sarawak, last time they had ancaman komunis. So when they had ancaman komunis, okay, last time when they had ancaman komunis, basically they needed a group or department to handle this. So they made RASCOM, or Rajang Area Security Command. And RASCOM's function is to handle the ancaman komunis menentang ancaman komunis di Sarawak. So the Ketua Menteri of Sarawak is the director. He is the one that tells people what to do. And after the whole thing is solved, they disbanded RASCOM. RASCOM dibubarkan because they did what they have to do. No more communists. And then Sarawak punya staff punya safety is back to under MKN. So what that means is normally Majlis Keselamatan Negara or MKN handles this defense stuff. But there are some times when kerajaan negeri has to get involved. So in this case it's RASCOM, but the other one here is ESCOM. So ESCOM is for Sabah, because if you remember when you were like primary 3 in my age, we got this one attack at the Hadatu by the Sulu pirates. Daripada Kepulauan Sulu, got ada serangan lah. So because of this, there was an alert. So the government decided to form ESCOM, which is basically similar to RASCOM. So it is to take care of the pengganas, the terrorists from Sulu. And they have 10 main zones, which are basically all the whole Pantai Timur. 10 zones, which are called S zones. So and ESCOM is working. Like, they don't attack Sabah anymore, from what I know. Okay, next. Faktor yang mengukuhkan sistem persekutuan. What makes the sistem persekutuan so trustworthy, so stable? Number one is keluhuran perlembagaan mengukuhkan persekutuan. Remember that I'm explaining mostly in English, but I'll try to put in some BM as well because I suck at BM. So what keluhuran means is ketertinggian undang-undang yang mengatasi semua pihak. Thank you, Cikgu Evelyn. So ketertinggian undang-undang means the utmost power of the law. That means the perundangan, the rules of the country, is the most powerful thing in the country. And that is very important because the parliament and DUN cannot change that, cannot go against what is already in the perlembagaan persekutuan. Like for example, it says that bahasa Melayu ialah bahasa rasmi Malaysia. The parliament or DUN can't make a law saying that they can change that. No, they can't. Because it's already in there. And you cannot change the perlembagaan persekutuan because you are the strongest you are the most power because the perlembagaan persekutuan is the strongest thing in the country. Another thing that you can't change is ketua negara ialah yang di-Pertuan Agong. It's already written in the perlembagaan persekutuan. You can't change it because perlembagaan persekutuan is more powerful than them. So if you can't change something that's more powerful than you. So that's why we call this keluhuran perlembagaan. You know the prinsip kelima rukun negara? That's where it comes from. Keluhuran means the outmost power of the perlembagaan. And another thing that another thing about this is if you have undang-undang kan. Yeah. One more thing. If you want to change some perundangan, okay, I might be wrong about what I said earlier. But what if I am wrong about what I said earlier, like you can't change the law, you can only change it with the Agong punya permission, right? Remember? So what if the Parliament and Dun got change the law, but they have the same law but different effects? For example, maybe if you steal something in Sabah, you will get fined 1,000 ringgit. But in persekutuan punya law, it is 5,000. It's just a fake example lah. Then we have to follow the persekutuan punya because persekutuan is stronger. So yeah, and it is proven in Perkara 75. So yeah, it basically says that the country punya law is the strongest in the country, and you cannot go against it. The only way you can go against it is by changing it, which is Agong permission. And Agong is going to allow everything. Next is penyelarasan kerajaan persekutuan dengan kerajaan negeri. So, from what I understand, penyelarasan is like a discussion. Alignment. What is... Or coordination. Okay, basically, they have a meeting, and then they tell each other what they have to do and so on. So basically, to make things more arranged, they discuss what to do. They have a meeting. They always have meetings. So how do they do this? They normally do it through meetings, as I said, and special events. So yeah. For majlis yang termaktub dalam perlembagaan persekutuan and majlis yang ditubuhkan dalam kerajaan. Let me just search what majlis is. Oh, council. Okay. So we have a few councils or majlis. We call it majlis. And there are two types. Number one is the majlis is already written down in the perlembagaan persekutuan. Number two is the majlis is wanted by the government. One is written in the rules, one is requested by the government. So for perlembagaan persekutuan, we have three: kewangan negara, tanah negara, and majlis negara bagi kerajaan tempatan. While for kerajaan punya, we have majlis keselamatan, majlis air, and majlis perumahan. Okay, again, I think one thing that I can say is read the purple boxes because the purple boxes are very good at kesimpulan. So you can see keberkesanan penyelarasan dan hubungan antara kerajaan persekutuan dengan kerajaan negeri dapat menjamin sistem persekutuan beroperasi dengan berkesan. Okay.